Hey, it's Rob from Wheelworks Bike Shop in Dublin. New bike day. So it's a brand new model. It's a new racing gravel bike from Trek. It's called the Checkmate, as opposed to the outgoing model was the Checkpoint. The Checkpoint stays in the range, but it's no longer the racing bike. The Checkmate is now designed just primarily as a race bike first. How are you getting on? Race bike first, and the Checkpoint becomes the one that's your leisure, endurance, bike packing, regular gravel bike. This one's designed very much as a race bike, gravel race bike first. So it's really light. We had it on the scales before we put all the bits on it, with the stock tyres, which were 40mm Bontrager GR1s or something like that, and it came in at 7.4 kilos for a medium large size. So it's as light as a high-end road bike. It didn't have bar tape on it when we weighed it, but it also had a big long steerer which we've chopped off, so it's about 7.5 kilos as a bike. We've added pedals, cages, Garmin mount, bar tape, and that's about it. So, we changed the tyres. We went up to 50mm tire clearance for 50mm tyres on it. So we've got the new Bontrager Betasso RSL tyres, 50mm tyre, gravel tyre. It's set up tubeless. It's running on the Bontrager RSL wheels, but I'm probably getting a bit ahead of myself with the spec as opposed to the features of the bike. Features of the bike, there's some really cool stuff. So it's designed very much like the new Gen 8 Madone, that the wheels, frame, and when you have the aero bottles on it, act as an aerofoil, the whole unit. So it's wind tunnel tested, computer, CAD, whatever fancy software shit they use for designing it. They've done lots of wind tunnel work on it. So it's an aero gravel bike. You still have mounts because a lot of the gravel races, particularly in the States, are pretty long. So you've got a mount on the top tube for like a food bag. You've got extra bottle mounts here if you want to run regular water bottles. You've got in the frame mounts here for running a frame bag. So you can carry extra on it for longer days out. It has a version of Trek's ISO speed, which is it's sort of like a shock absorber built into the frame here. It's also running a D-shaped seat post, and the idea with that is the flat back on the seat post allows it to flex. So you've got flex from the seat post, you got flex from the ISO speed, and then obviously you're running a big tyre, so you've got a ton of flex on the tyres or cushioning on the tyres. So they're a very comfortable bike. Unusually, it has full mudguard mounts. So if you want to run full fenders, you can actually run it as a full-on winter bike, which I was surprised at, but I think it's a really good idea. I don't think you'll fit 50mm tyres on that though. The limit's probably about 40s with full fenders, but you've got hidden mounts inside the frame here, down inside here, and on the back here. So you can run full fenders front and rear. You have hidden mounts here and then behind the fork. So you can run it as a full winter bike with mudguards, lightweight gravel race bike. What are the other features? Well, it's running the new SRAM group set, which is probably a very obvious one. It's gone to the UDH, Universal Derailleur Hanger System. These things are supposed to be pretty indestructible. There's videos of guys standing on them and stuff like that, whacking them with a hammer, and they're pretty strong. It's the new 13-speed SRAM Red Explorer. So you got big oversized jockey wheels, new big oversized cage, whopper cassette. I believe it's a one-piece. If like the other SRAM cassettes, they're all one-piece milled cassettes, as opposed to like a Shimano cassette that has separate rings. So that's just me guessing. That's not an actual fact, but I think it is. You can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. It's running a 1-by, and with the new, so with SRAM chainset power meters, one of the things that people didn't tend to like about them, particularly when it launched initially, was the power meter and the chain rings are all one unit. So if you wore out a chain ring, your power meter went in the bin as well. These are separate chain rings, so you can take the chain rings off, change the size. I presume it's a size thing, so that you can run different size chain rings for different courses, I'm guessing. It's gone to 13 speed, if I didn't say that already. You've got SRAM Quark power meter. It's a dual-sided one, usual accuracy and all that sort of bullshit. We've put XTR pedals on it. We've put on Trex RSL Aero water bottles in the year of white, which matches the frame perfectly. The frame, I'm not sure about this small logo. I look at it sometimes and I think it's okay, and then I look at it other times and it's sort of upsetting. I like the big logos. I really like the big oversized logos, so I'm not sure about that one at all. I think the 50mm tyres look really cool. The big tyres, really chunky. It's got the same cockpit as the new Checkmate, so it's one-piece integrated cockpit with the slightly shallower but deeper, if that makes sense, handlebar. It's flared as well. I've gone for not the narrowest setup, but the medium large comes with a, I think it's 44, 41, something like that flare, and I've gone down to a 39, 42 or something like that, the medium size, or maybe it's a 37. I went down to, I think, 39, 42. So the gravel isn't that technical where we are, so hopefully I don't kill myself. Anything else we need to tell you about? Yeah, they've dropped the frame armor. So the Checkpoint has big chunky frame armor. This has basically like Invisi frame armor down here to protect the frame from rocks and stuff, and you've got the same sort of Invisi frame type protection here to protect from chain slap. There is a mount that if you do want to run a 2x system, you can fit a derailleur. You have a chain catcher inside. There's the usual mounts on the Trek stuff. So you've got the new aluminium Garmin mount, which also has a light mount below that, so you can run your front light with your Garmin, and we'll fit a rear light back here as well. I'll run a saddlebag for racing, probably small one. I'm sure I've forgotten stuff, so any of you guys who have read all the literature and know the stuff that I've missed can point it out in the comments. I haven't ridden it yet. I'll get out in it tomorrow. I'll get a couple of rides. I'm racing on it next week, so I'll do a review in a couple of weeks once I've got a few miles on it, and give you a bit of feedback on what I think of it. But I think I'm really looking forward to it. As you can see from the slammed stem, I ride a relatively low aggressive position, and the new geometry on this feeds very much into that. I may go with a longer stem after I've ridden it a little bit, but I went slightly shorter than I have on the road bike, just so I don't have too much weight over the front wheel. And that's not my saddle height. I haven't set it up yet. I don't. Anyone who's looking at it going, your legs aren't that long. Yeah, I know they're not. That's probably it, I think. So it's the new Checkmate SLR9 eTap Axis Explore, and they're all without vowels mostly, so you can figure it out yourself. Okay.